Thank you so
wow,
much.
man. What the heck, dude?
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you definitely know what you're doing, bro.
Thank you, man. No,
all off the dome, too.
Yeah.
I'm looking at any notes, bro. And your transitions.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Damon Campbell here at the Loving Touch in Ferndale, Michigan, with some very special guests. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hello, I'm Luke. We're almost Monday.
I'm Dawson.
I'm Cole.
Great to meet you guys.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely, definitely appreciate your time. Now, perhaps there was some foreshadowing with the name, since one of your first big breaks came on a Sunday night, thanks to a gentleman by the name of Tim Piles.
Wow. Yeah. Yo, that's awesome. Yeah. Locals only Sunday night with Tim Piles. It's the first time we ever got played on the radio. Shout out Tim Piles.
And from radio waves to ocean waves, it all goes back to John Humphrey's Univ Surf Shop.
That's right. Yeah. Let's go, man. You got that Nardwar prowess, bro. Let's go. You got that Nardwar thing. Yeah. Shout out John Humphrey. Our first shows ever in Univ. Shout out Gary for getting us dialed in with John. And yeah, those are some of our favorite shows I feel like we've ever played to this day still.
Wow.
Just packing it out with just our high school friends in Encinitas right there. So fun.
Really? And Cole, your dad was actually a pro surfer back in the 80s?
That's true, yeah.
Has he shared any stories with you from those days?
I've heard many stories, yeah. He was somewhat of a touring person as well, I guess, because he was on the world tour. And then, but they didn't have like as much technology back then. He couldn't FaceTime back home or anything.
Yeah.
So he had to send letters and all that. But yeah, so now I'm following suit on tour.
Luke, I imagine you eventually got bored of your dad playing Blackbird on guitar around the house all the time, whereas Dawson's dad would play U2 pretty religiously.
Yep.
In fact, he probably did most things religiously, having spent 29 years as a pastor.
Dang, dude, you really got that Nardwar thing, bro. That's crazy. Yeah. Shout out the Father's House. That's how me and Luke came up.
I was
Let's
gonna
go.
say, is that where you guys started playing music at?
Sure was. Yeah, we'd play kind of like the little kids group as we were little kids. You know, banging on the trash can, playing the guitar, and yeah, church is one of the few formats you can get up there and really be bad.
Sure.
And people still encourage you to keep going, and so it was a great kind of training ground for us.
100%.
Yeah.
How strict were your parents with explicit music? Because like even the Shrek soundtrack ruffled some feathers.
Bro, you're gnarly, dude. I really feel like we're on Nardwar right now. This is crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. Dude, that's so weird. Wow, that is a deep memory. Yeah, I would sit in the back on what they call them, Walkman.
Oh,
you know, where you put the CD in, and it was the Shrek soundtrack, and my mom would always check back into me because the only song I would want to listen to was I don't give a damn about my reputation. Who is that again? I forget what band that is, but I loved that song, and my mom would go, "You're not listening to song 10, are you?"
Oh, no.
And I'd be like, "No," and I'd like skip forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great song, man. I've actually kind of always wanted to cover it low key. It's a great tune.
I feel like I always hear it in movies and stuff.
Yeah, right? Yeah. In the scene Shrek where all the, they're in the pit. Oh, man.
And now Smash Mouth knows who you guys are.
Yeah. Yeah, they followed us randomly.
Crazy.
That was I guess the Shrek lore for us is kind of going deep. There's some weird
Connections
some
there.
ties with Shrek. Maybe the new Shrek, maybe they get a little Almost Monday song in there. That'd be cool.
That'd be full circle.
Full circle.
Speaking of Smash Mouths though, Dawson, did you really get a tooth knocked out during Turnstile set at Coachella?
I think this is my favorite interview ever, man. What the heck? Yes, that is true. We went to Coachella, and me and Cole went to go see Turnstile. I felt like that was like right. I mean, they were always gonna do great things, but it was kind of like right that like peak of them really blowing up. So we were there at Coachella, and there was a pretty crazy pit. And there's a YouTube video somewhere, and you kind of see it. You don't see it fully happen, but you see me in a striped shirt. But yeah, this guy just came through and just banged me. I just was so, it just stunned me, and I'm like, all right, man, we're at Coachella, and I don't got a front tooth.
Were you able to find it, or probably not?
I just spit it out in my hand. It's just like in my rattling around in my mouth. But yeah, shout out Turnstile. Weekend 2 Coachella.
Yeah. While you guys were cutting your teeth as a band, what was it like recording in an abandoned shoe factory?
Oh, dude.
I don't even remember.
No, that was Jarvis.
Yeah. Oh,
Or
no,
was
no,
it-
no, no. It's Greenpoint.
Oh,
It's Greenpoint.
There's
Greenpoint.
a couple of abandoned buildings.
Oh, wow.
That just seemed like an abandoned building.
It was from like I don't know if it was abandoned bomb factory. Maybe I mixed it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were our very early sessions with our producer Simon in Brooklyn and Greenpoint, and we just scrounged all dollars together and went to New York and stayed in this really weird Airbnb with like other people.
Oh yeah.
There's like 5 of us or 4 of us to a room, and actually at the end of the week came up with the songs that eventually got us a deal.
Okay.
I also remember in that Airbnb, I was taking my placement test for Point Loma, my math placement test, and Cole was a really smart guy, and I basically bribed him to take the math placement test for me, so I didn't have to take math at Point Loma for college. And I think it was like for an ice cream or something. So he took the test for me, and he's so smart. I literally was like, "Yo, don't like get like 3 of them wrong, like so it doesn't look sus." But yeah, shout out Cole for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're on stage, it helps to envision the shoe being on the other foot, so to speak. Since Switchfoot gave you some advice about being like a mirror for the audience.
Yeah. Oh man, yes, yeah. We played with them. It was kind of like our first big show.
Yeah.
It was to this day is like first big show where there was enough people for where you can't like lock onto like it was the first time it felt like, whoa, like I can't lock onto like one face.
Yeah.
But I was really nervous, like pacing, and John, who shout out John Foreman, I think is one of the best songwriters of our generation, and heroes to all of us, local legend San Diego.
Of course.
And he could tell I was a little nervous, and he just basically gave me some wisdom that I still hold to this day. But it's, that you're a mirror for the audience.
100%.
If you're nervous and just tense, like people will feel that and just reflect it. So go out there, and I feel like in a lot of ways, I've just kind of reflecting on it right now, I feel like that's kind of in a weird way opened up for me to like, I love running around and I love being loose and just feeling loose, and I think that wisdom in a weird way has kind of just found its way into my DNA as a performer. So
100%. And reflecting a bit on your blind audition for The Voice, I suppose there's some irony there, because not to make light of it, of course, but is it true that you're somewhat cross-eyed?
Yeah, yo, that is very true, man. Yo, man, this is
got a good memory.
I want to like shout this interview out to all the fans, because this is some deep cut. This is some good journalism. But yeah, I'm cross-eyed. When I don't wear these guys, my eye crosses in a little bit.
Okay.
Shout out to my parents for finding out too late. I fell down the stairs, and my dad was pissed at me because he's like, "What are you doing?" And then he saw me look up, and my eyes are crossing. He's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm a terrible father."
Oh, no.
And but Dan, he is a great father. Shout out Dan. But yeah, cross-eyed, man.
Does it have any effect on your performances, or not really?
Not. I mean, I see 2 of everything, and I usually wear the sunglasses just because I always felt like I kind of didn't like. I always felt like I looked like I wasn't like like a rock star up there with just my normal glasses. It felt kind of like Clark Kent or something up there. So I feel like the sunglasses just became like a way to pretend to, I don't know, be something, not a cross-eyed kid. So.
Well, you look like a rock star right now.
All right. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
And while the Voice experience, in hindsight, perhaps a blessing in disguise, but while that may have ended in the blink of an eye, Cole's journey in music began backstage at Blink-182 concerts.
Oh yeah. My one of my best friends growing up, his dad managed Blink-182 like throughout like the 2000s and stuff. So that was actually my first concert, from what my parents told me, was when I was like maybe like 4 or 5, was with Blink-182 with No Doubt opening in San Diego.
Yeah.
So I've been went to a lot of Blink shows growing up, and yeah.
Was it like the snacks backstage that left the most lasting impression?
Snacks backstage?
Like just like the food and snacks spread out backstage?
I don't even remember, honestly.
Okay.
I have such a bad memory sometimes.
No, that's
I'm like,
fair.
But no, yeah. No, I did intern one time for Tom at his studio, and I got them all lunch. But
Really?
Yeah, we didn't.
What did they eat? Do you
I think it was like sub sandwiches or something.
Okay.
Nice.
But
With
yeah.
him in the forehead.
Is there anything else you'd like people to know about Almost Monday?
I feel like you just opened up the storybook of Almost Monday, and we just went chapter by chapter. So, I mean, not really. I mean, I guess the only other thing we can say is check out our album if you haven't. It's called Dive, and we're on tour right now. But man, this has been a pleasure, man.
No,
This is
thank
cool.
you guys.
This was a great interview.
No, thank
a lot
you
of
so
fun.
Awesome. I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts at all before we say goodbye?
No, but
No,
thank you.
no, but
we'll
thank
see
you.
you soon
Shout out
in a
Ferndale.
city near you.
Shout out Ferndale. It's a fairy
Yeah.
tale.
There you have it. Once again, I'm Damon Campbell, and this is Almost Monday. Thanks for watching.
Cheers.